Hello, my beautiful mommies. I wanted to talk a little bit today about the idea of the old village versus the modern village, especially when it comes to raising babies, raising children, why it's important, and how things have changed over time. Things have, and I speak to moms about this a lot as well. Why don't we just go ask our moms, right? Like, what did you do? When you were raising a baby. And yes, there are some things that have stayed the same, but there are also some things that are different, right? We also have more opportunities these days. There's also more mobility. We are able to move for job opportunities and things like that. And so while these are all great things and it really comes down to choice, right? We have more choices these days. One of the challenges of having more choices is that we've become a little bit more spread out. Some people are still in the same town as a lot of their family members, but a lot of us are not. We don't have family that's close by, or maybe we do have family that might be close by, but for whatever reason, they're just not available to help during the week. And so, how can we find that support, right? But I wanted to speak just a little bit on how things have changed. So the old village a lot of times consisted around the community, right? This could be extended family members, this could be grandparents, cousins, siblings. It also consisted around religion. So a lot of times back in the day, we can talk about going back to tribes, but even more recent than that, a lot of times the groups were centered around extended family, a religious group or a religious building. You would meet and there would be support systems there. So a third one could also be neighbors. I remember, and it's so funny, things that you remember later on in life that happened as a child. I feel like people back in the day, at least when I was growing up, you moved into neighborhoods where more people were around the same phase of life. Now I feel like there's a lot more variation. And I didn't think of this until after I became a mom of baby. One time the moms were getting together outside. We lived on a cul-de-sac. And so during the day, during the week, while the husbands or the partners were at work, the moms would come outside and let the kids play, and they would visit and things like that. And I specifically remember this one time where one of the moms had just had a baby. She had come out and were visiting with my mother and some of the other moms in the neighborhood. And I remember someone saying, now, if the baby's crying and gets to be too much, just walk over and knock on my door, and I'll be happy to, hold the baby for a little bit so you can get a break. And I remember this now, have never thought of it up until when I had to start creating my own village. And so just remembering and recognizing that there was just a different level of support back in the day for moms, having that old village support, really around those three areas, right? Extended family, the religious group, religious building, and then neighbors, right? And a lot of times you didn't move, so you really did get to know your neighbors. Sometimes we move, we're a lot more spread out. You know, back in the day, a lot of times you moved and you were there for 10 to 15 years. Now you might move and you're there for 2 years, and then you need to move again, and you need to, then form the community again, right? And go through that whole process. So that's the old village. So now how about, what does it look like for the modern mom? How can we create these new support systems for the modern day? Really we're recreating and redefining what it is to be a mom in the modern day. So what are things that we can put in place to help get that support that we may no longer be getting in the same way that we did back, in the earlier times. I'm going to mention two today that I've used. One is a Jim's Kids Club. A lot of times gyms will have a daycare or what they call a kids club where you can bring the baby in or you can bring your kids in and they'll watch them for a period of time while you go work out. Maybe you take a shower, get dressed, maybe you blow dry your hair, bonus. So that's one. Two could be mommy and baby classes. I'll even add on a third one. The modern day mom, the modern day village, I believe could be part virtual support systems, and they can also be in-person support systems. So a third one could be online group support, online mommy groups. So being able to interact, get ideas, share your story, hear tips, things like that. So these are three ways that moms can use to build that modern village. So I hope these are helpful and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.